We all know the scouting report on him. He was labeled a toxic teammate, which is exactly why Dallas shipped him out. Terrell Owens. Just mention his name in a locker room full of football stars and watch the reaction. The former Dallas pass catcher became the first Gold Jacket inductee to ever skip his own induction ceremony. Some players bite their tongue, some laugh, and others just shake their heads in disbelief. That is because T.O. was never just a player. He was an absolute event. Today, we look at what superstars like Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and LeBron James think of him. He was a force who left drama everywhere, from San Francisco to Philly and Dallas. He has got T.O. Terrell Owens touchdown because wherever he went, chaos followed. And with that chaos came some of the most legendary reactions in sports history. Here is how league players react when asked about him. Let us start with Donovan McNabb and their historic Super Bowl grudge. Nearly 20 years later, their famous feud is still burning hot. That alone tells us everything. In fact, when legendary tight end Shannon Sharpe hosted Owens on his podcast and asked which rival he would want to step into a boxing ring with, Owens did not hesitate for a second. McNabb. He immediately chose McNabb. "I will be controlled," Owens told Sharpe. He promised it would be a state of controlled anger, saying he would act like a cool, calm Navy SEAL in those high-pressure moments, despite the intense fire burning deep inside. That furious drive represents T.O. perfectly. But where does all this heat come from? Let us look back. Both stars shared the field in Philadelphia during the 2004 and 2005 seasons, instantly finding incredible success together. That first year, both dominated and made the Pro Bowl. They even carried the team all the way to Super Bowl 39, falling to the New England Patriots 24-21. It was that crushing defeat where their relationship completely fractured. In the years after leaving, Owens made a wild claim, accusing the quarterback of partying right before the big game. He questioned why anyone would lie when others saw it. Some even claimed he threw up in the huddle. Owens insisted he verified with teammates that McNabb was drinking heavily before the biggest matchup of their lives. Naturally, McNabb fired back with absolute fury. While the receiver was holding out of training camp, the quarterback addressed the media directly. He made it clear he does not play media games or engage in public mudslinging. He stated he is a grown man, and if someone has an issue, they should contact him directly to resolve it face-to-face like real men. Then, the quarterback delivered a legendary line that every single fan remembers. He warned him to keep his name out of his mouth and stop throwing other players under the bus just to make himself look better. That bitter rivalry never truly faded. In December 2024, when McNabb offered advice on the current team drama with Jalen Hurts, Owens immediately struck back. Posting online, he called the advice highly ironic. While he found it a bit funny, he actually agreed that keeping disputes private is best. He noted he never personally started an issue, but since the quarterback clearly had a problem with him, he should have followed his own advice back then. He also pointed out that they easily could have won that championship ring together in '39, but left that as a bitter story for another time. They are still taking shots decades later. Make sure to hit subscribe as we dive into another wild teammate perspective next. Next up is Deshaun Jackson, who watched it all unfold. Not everyone commenting on T.O. was an enemy. Some had a front row seat to the chaos. These teammates witnessed the entire explosive meltdown, and they have shared some incredibly revealing details about what actually happened behind closed doors. Jackson spent 2 years catching passes from McNabb. During a popular sports podcast appearance, he decided to break his silence on the historic feud. He confirmed the rift was totally real and deeply personal. But Jackson went further, highlighting specific flaws in the quarterback's leadership style. He described him as surprisingly selfish and focused on his own brand, which didn't sit well with the rest of the locker room. As a franchise leader, you must occasionally take blame and say, "My bad." But he refused to take responsibility when things went sideways. Things got incredibly specific when the wideout made league history by earning starting spots at 2 different positions for the annual All-Star game. He remembers his quarterback telling Michael Vick that he did not actually deserve the honor, showing a surprising lack of support. When fans alerted Owens to this story, he agreed immediately, pointing out that management and reporters always protected the signal caller regardless. He claimed his rival convinced the front office to let him go, though it failed to stop him from dominating on his next squad. Later, we saw him clear the head coach of any blame, insisting the coaching staff was not the real issue behind the scenes. He labeled his old teammate as fake, wondering how a franchise could defend someone like that while casting others aside. If you like this drama, subscribe now. Next, let us look at Teague. the defender who created a viral moment long before the internet existed. This remains the most physical reaction to Owens in league history, and it did not happen on a talk show or in a press room. It unfolded live on the field at full speed. On September 24th, 2000, San Francisco was dominating the Cowboys at home. Owens caught 2 touchdowns. After the first score, he sprinted straight to the legendary 50-yard line star to celebrate, claiming he was offering a prayer. Dallas took it as a massive insult. Soon after, their star running back Emmitt Smith scored his own touchdown and ran to the same logo. He slammed the football down to protect his home turf. But the warning did not work. Owens returned to the logo after scoring again, and a Dallas defender had seen enough. George Teague sprinted across the field and absolutely leveled the receiver right on the logo. That second celebration brought immediate Texas justice, physically knocking the star flat on his back. That hit came with a massive penalty, as the officials immediately sent Teague was ejected for the game's final 4+ minutes and hit with a $24,999 fine. Was it worth it? He sure thinks so. Would I go out there again today and hit Terrell Owens? Would that be worth it for me? Yes, I would do it again because of the principle, Teague said. He continued, insisting it was the right thing to do. Now, how did T.O. respond? You and I both know the trash talk was coming on Kevin Hart's Cold as Balls show. Owens looked straight into the camera and laughed it off. He said it didn't faze him at all, adding, I see all the comments saying I got clocked, but honestly, he just grazed over the top of me. Meanwhile, Teague has actually tried to reach out to Owens over the years to clear the air. Teague admitted they never spoke, but said he tried calling and reaching out a while ago about a business venture to make some money together. But there has been zero contact, not a single word for over 20 years. And the craziest part? Teague really believed they could partner up and make cash. But as he put it, I guess he's not over it yet, which is fine. I will live. Teague stays classy and open, while T.O. refuses to pick up. Next, let's discuss Jeff Garcia, the quarterback who called him out. Long before Donovan McNabb or Tony Romo, there was Jeff Garcia in San Francisco, and their relationship was one for the history books. Back on the 49ers, the outspoken receiver constantly complained that Garcia was not throwing him the ball enough. Classic receiver drama, right? But then Owens took it to an unbelievable level. In a 2004 interview with Playboy, they asked about rumors surrounding Garcia's personal life. Owens replied, like my boy tells me, if it looks and smells like a rat, by golly, it is a rat. The insult was incredibly clear. Garcia fired back with pure fury, calling it a waste of time to answer such ridiculous, untrue statements in public. Garcia asserted his personal life was never a secret, noting he currently had a girlfriend and had dated women in the past, adding that so many people already knew the truth. As commentators, we have to ask, did Owens go too far? Backtrack, claiming he never explicitly said Garcia was gay. He argued the interview was just very loose conversation, and from his own personal knowledge, he wasn't sure about Garcia's personal life. Right, sure. That Playboy piece is still out there, T.O. You cannot put that genie back in the bottle. Garcia eventually moved on, got married, and enjoyed a solid career post-San Francisco. But this wild drama still echoes in NFL history as an incredibly bizarre quarterback and receiver feud. Now, let's look at Tony Romo, the tears, and the ultimate betrayal. This was the absolute wildest emotional ride in Terrell Owens' career. His bond with Tony Romo started with genuine love but ended with accusations of snakes. When Owens joined Dallas in 2006, the hype was electric. His famous popcorn comment made when signing with the Cowboys in that summer became iconic before he caught a league-leading 13 touchdowns in his Dallas debut. Then came the infamous 2008 collapse. Dallas just lost a playoff matchup to the Giants on a crucial Romo interception. At the podium, Owens broke down in tears, fiercely defending his quarterback. "That is my quarterback," he sobbed. The entire sports world watched in absolute shock. Terrell Owens, crying to protect a teammate, was supposed to signal a new, mature era for T.O. It did not. As the championship favorites faltered late in the 2008 season, Owens expressed deep resentment toward Romo, growing jealous of the quarterback's close bond with Jason Witten. Owens suspected that Romo and Witten were drawing up plays behind his back. Once Dallas released Owens, the gloves came off entirely. Regarding that entire situation, he said, "I lost my respect for that whole situation." T.O. explained, "That's a guy I shed real tears for. I went to bat for him, and then, ultimately, I'm gone from Dallas, and I know he had a hand in pushing me out. So, it's just one of those things where you bite your tongue and keep moving. Fast forward to 2024, when Dez Bryant accused Romo and coach Jason Garrett of plotting against him on the Pivot podcast, someone tagged T.O. immediately. His response was incredibly short, blunt, and devastating, simply writing that Romo, Witten, and Garrett are snakes. What a wild shift from defending his quarterback to calling him a snake. That is one unbelievable journey. Now, let's look at Brian Westbrook, a man caught in the middle. Not all Owens' reactions stem from anger. Some come from pure heartbreak. No one illustrates this more than former Eagles running back Brian Westbrook, who had a front row seat to the McNabb and Owens nuclear explosion. He never truly got over what could have been. 15 years after the feud started, it reignited when McNabb appeared on Bleacher Report's Untold Stories, blaming Owens for Philadelphia's post-Super Bowl collapse. Of course, T.O. fired right back, escalating the online fight. He brought absolute chaos to Twitter. This prompted Westbrook to appear on Fox Sports' First Things First as the voice of reason. Westbrook hoped they had moved past the drama, but clearly they had not. If you are enjoying this, please like and subscribe. I wish they could reconnect, Westbrook urged, lamenting that two of the greatest legends in Eagles history are now reduced to bickering online, on Twitter. Years ago, Westbrook painted a heartbreaking picture of their brief success. Owens was happy, and his chemistry with McNabb was in total harmony. Everything was perfect. Westbrook recalled feeling terrible when people brought up the 4-5 record, understanding that Terrell only wanted his contract guaranteed. If they had somehow kept that powerhouse team and coaching staff together for just one more season, they would have been clear Super Bowl favorites. That offense was primed to dominate the league as number one for years and achieve historic greatness. Instead, a potential dynasty vanished over money and clash of egos. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. That one still stings, and Westbrook carries that weight to this day. But let us look at Tom Brady and that infamous ignored text. It gets wilder. Former teammates and opponents had plenty to say about T.O., but even Tom Brady got pulled into the Terrell Owens orbit in a drama T.O. never forgot. He never forgave him either. When Antonio Brown famously stormed off the field during the Buccaneers' 2021 season, Owens saw his perfect opportunity. On the Bubba Dub Show, Owens revealed he reached out to Brady, asking to join the Bucs, but Brady completely ignored him. T.O. described that snub with real pain. He recalled the rejection with deep frustration. Tom Brady ignored me, bro, Owens said. The year that AB went crazy, they just needed someone to fill those holes. With AB gone, I reached out to him through Randy and some others, just to come in and play third down in red zone situations. This dude ignored me. It shows a complete lack of respect, but in person they act like they respect you. Make sure to hit that like button right now. At the time, Owens was 48 and had not played in the NFL since 2010. No response came, not even a polite decline. Brady never commented. He has never acknowledged it. That silence speaks volumes, and T.O. definitely did not take it well. If you are enjoying this, please subscribe to our channel, not even a little bit. Now, let us pivot to the Ultimate Hall of Fame snub, a move that absolutely stunned the entire league. This was the biggest statement T.O. ever made. Back in 2018, when the Hall of Fame finally called his name after passing him over twice, Owens ranks third in NFL career receiving yards and touchdowns, cement hard as an all-time great. We all expected a massive celebration, but we got a protest. When his induction finally came, former Dallas Cowboys star Terrell Owens became the very first Hall of Famer to completely boycott the official enshrinement ceremony. Owens chose to skip Canton, Ohio entirely, opting instead to host his own unique ceremony at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, his beloved alma mater. He did it to protest what he publicly called a deeply flawed voting process. To this day, he is the only player to ever skip the official induction. He hosted a completely separate event, and his explanation was incredibly sharp and direct. There has been plenty of false speculation about my choice, Owens said. I want to set the record straight right now. My absence is not because of how many years it took for them to vote me into the Hall. It is about the writers who vote. They are simply not aligned with the true mission and values of the Hall. I needed to take a firm stand. I did this so the next generation of players will not have to suffer what we did. Whether it takes 3 years or 45, you deserve your due. Going against the grain is never easy or popular. But in my heart, I know this was the right decision to make. Remember to drop a like if you agree. People claim I made the wrong choice, but sometimes you must do what seems wrong to accomplish what is right. Meanwhile, the Hall of Fame's response was surprisingly respectful. President David Baker kept it professional. We have never had a player skip before, but I have had some really good, constructive conversations with Terrell. I told him we are disappointed because we wanted to honor him, and there is a whole city of fans here waiting to do just that. That said, he is a grown man with a mind of his own, and we must respect his decision. Now, let us jump ahead to early 2026. The voting process faced massive backlash in early 2026, specifically when legendary head coach Bill Belichick was shockingly left off his very first ballot. With both Belichick and Robert Kraft snubbed, T.O. wasted no time jumping back into the debate, firing off a blunt assessment. "It is just plain stupid," Owens told CNBC Sport in San Francisco before Super Bowl 60. "Something has to change. He tried warning us years ago. Nobody listened, and now the controversy is back." Enter Dez Bryant, as two kindred spirits finally cross paths. This is where we see an unexpected twist in the T.O. saga. A rare moment of kinship, linking Terrell Owens and Dez Bryant, two legendary, outspoken stars. They are the most explosive receivers in Dallas history, finding common ground and common enemies. It has been over a decade since T.O. played there, but clearly, his grudges never expire. This entire online feud erupted after a clip went viral of Dez Bryant speaking on the Pivot podcast. The former Dallas star recalled his connection with Romo, claiming their back-shoulder fade route was absolutely unstoppable. But he also suspected Tony Romo and Jason Garrett of actively keeping the ball from him during a 2014 game against Jacksonville. Fans immediately tagged Owens, asking if he experienced similar treatment. T.O. fired back, calling Romo, Witten, and Garrett straight-up snakes. Just pure, unadulterated drama. Dez then chimed in on social media, pointing directly to the chronic dysfunction within the Dallas front office. Owens agreed, stating that he always expected chaos from the franchise, admitting he tries to view the situation without any personal bias. He concluded that the organization is simply not run well. It is fascinating to see two-star receivers from different eras bonding over shared grievances. Owens spent 3 incredibly productive seasons in Dallas, racking up 38 touchdowns and consistently dominant 1,000-yard campaigns. He gave that franchise everything, but felt they never showed him real respect in return. Dez Bryant clearly felt the exact same way. United by that fiery T.O. energy, they make a formidable pair. At 52, Owens is still vocal and as entertaining as ever. In 2026, Owens is turning 53. His legacy stands firm with 5 All-Pro selections and 1,078 career receptions. We cannot forget his iconic 2000 NFC Championship game performance, playing through severe injury to deliver a legendary playoff moment. He is still outspoken, still making headlines. Earlier in 2026, when the Belichick Hall of Fame snub caused a massive uproar, Owens immediately questioned why his own snubs in 2016 and 2017 did not receive the same massive level of media outrage. Honestly, there is something poetic about his consistency. Every team and quarterback he ever played with eventually became a target of his grudges. We have all heard his side of the story. Every single grudge, real or imagined, has been filed away for future use. Was he actually a locker room cancer? The book on him was that he ruined team chemistry, which is why Dallas ultimately cut ties. Some of our analysts were on that squad. Yet, when you ask his former teammates what playing with T.O. at his best was truly like, the answers shift. Owens himself noted, quote, "They can talk about me as bad as they want, but that is why I played with that chip on my shoulder. That is why I played with real pride," end quote. He captured 6 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pro selections, and a Hall of Fame bust with a speech delivered 600 miles from Canton. As Owens put it, quote, "People have doubted and criticized me my whole life, and that is why I am the way I am," end quote. That is the definitive key to his entire career. The chip, the fire, the fuel, and as long as Terrell Owens is around, someone, somewhere, is going to bring up his name, and the reaction is never going to be boring. Which of these moments surprised you the most? George Teague refusing to back down? Or the endless McNabb saga that still has not ended? Tom Brady's cold silence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And before you head out, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to NFL Rivals so you don't miss our next stories.